So this is one I highlighted just to get her going. So early in this book, it just says, fear. Once you get used to it, it can be mastered. You can tame fear, and I knew that. It can take some time, and you can go through some pretty bad moments, but at some point, fear is going to get tired or overconfident, and you can just take it down. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. So I was 17. This is George again. I was 17 years old, and I had arrived in New York City. I didn't have any money. So this is from Montreal to New York City. I didn't have any money, and I was intimidated, 17 years old. The story gets better, by the way. I was going into a crack neighborhood before the cleaner years. It wasn't a full-on ghetto, but I'd never seen that kind of place in my life. But I walked in there into the Gracie gym seeking knowledge, and they let me in. I couldn't speak a lick of English, and every fighter in the place wanted to go at me because I'm the new guy. That's the way it is in a gym, a real fighting gym. A new guy walks in, and everybody wants a shot at him. I got my ass kicked many times. The kind of practice we participate in is called randori. Essentially, it means freestyle practice of one-on-one sparring. The goal is to resist and counter the opponent's techniques. The Japanese translation would be chaos taking or grasping freedom. Well, they almost fought over me to get at them. I suffered my share of whoopings. I ate a lot of randori, let's say. I was really discouraged at first, but I went there to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, to learn the art of fighting on the ground from experts. Those guys really are the best in the world. Do you have anything right now?
Yeah, so two things. So I want to touch on the first part. You're talking about fear. Mm-hmm. And so I want to set the stage for this, like for the young guys to come in, right? Because when you're coming up through AAA hockey, let's say, and you're about to make that jump to the next level, whatever, that's something that is going to hit you. You're going to have that. Everyone knows what that's like. You go to, a big tournament, whatever, or you go to, you're playing against the best players. There's an all-star game or something like that, and you're in the dressing room, and you have that feeling, that gut feeling, right? Yeah. Where you're scared. Now, what's important to understand about fear is that the reason we have fear is because when we were apes a long time ago, we didn't want to die, right? So we would get these feelings to turn on fight or flight to let us run away, whatever, okay? Yeah. Most people don't have that now. We don't have that kind of threat in our life, but we still have the mechanism for that. So the way that GSP is talking about it, they're saying like it's something that you can wait fear out, basically, right? You can wait it out and you'll be able to take it down. It'll get tired. It'll go away, right? Yeah. And with most things that, especially for kids, because it's such a weird time when you're a teenager, you're going from a little boy turning into a young man, turning into an adult. That's something that, just like you said, you can wait it out. So when you're going into those situations and you have that fear, so think about him, walking into that gym for the first time as a boy, 17 years old, right? He's just a kid walking into that gym, how terrifying that is. Yeah. And he, just like you said, you wait it out. Yeah. You keep it going, and you know that fear is going to be there, but you just do it anyways, right? Because then that's how you overcome it, right? Yes. You let it paralyze you, and you let it back you off, and then you're not going to ever do the thing that you wanted to do. Yes. And so that's an important thing to understand is like you can feel the emotion, you can feel it there, but know that that's something that you can take down over time, right? Yeah,
that's awesome, Eric. That's why we're a team, because I'm the good looks and you're the brains. Yeah. But the other side of fear, success. It's just, that's what it is. And it doesn't mean that you're going to win everything, but you've made improvements in your life. You realize that. And there's a stat. I don't know if it's an accurate stat, but I would say this is pretty safe to say. 90% of the things that you worry about or scared of or fearful of never come true. And when they do, they're not even close to as bad as what you thought they were going to be. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing.
Actually, I got a touch on that before you go on. Yeah. I remember it was a Sam Harris thing. I don't know if anyone knows who Sam Harris is, but he's just this kind of philosophical thinker type guy. Yep. And he's big into mindfulness, and he talks about he has an app, actually. It's called the Waking Up app. It teaches like meditation and stuff. It's very interesting. But he talks about, and we've talked about this a lot, like being in the moment and what that means. And one of the examples he uses is pain or fear or whatever. And a lot of times what happens is you are anticipating the next moment of fear or the next moment of pain, and that thought, to your point, like you just said, is actually worse than what's happening in the moment. Because a lot of people, they'll quit because they're like, oh, I can't take any more of this. I can't take any more of the fear. I can't take any more of the anxiety. I can't take any more of the pain. But in that moment, it's like you are taking it. Like you are handling it. You're handling the pain. You're handling the fear. You're doing it. You're not dead. You're still going forward. Yeah. And it's that thinking ahead where you can start to overwhelm yourself, and that's what will make you quit, because you're anticipating feeling more pain, or more fear, even though you're handling it in the moment. You know what I mean? So that's just an interesting thing. That stat that rings true for me. Definitely, I definitely see.
Oh, there's so many. Fear disguises itself in so many different ways. Fear, you make an excuse. You make an excuse, right? Think about when the first time you had to ask out a girl. The fear of her saying no, or telling her friends, or laughing at you, or saying yes. Now what? Yeah. Right? Because that's another thing.
Yeah, seriously. Now what?
But you'll disguise fear like, if you're afraid to go into a gym, or you're embarrassed by your workout or something, and you don't want to go back because you're fear of what other people are going to think. There's fear disguise itself in different ways. Just name different things. And it's weird. Like, so Andre Agassi, the famous tennis player, married Brooke Shields. Then he got divorced from her and married Steffi Graf, who was another tennis champion. But anyways, he went through, I'm going to use him in a podcast one day. He went through his tennis career. So his dad was like really hard on him, wanted him to be a tennis player and practice. So it wasn't necessarily, he liked tennis, but he wasn't self-driven. It wasn't an intrinsic motivation. And his hair started falling out early in his teenage years, and started to go bald like really early. So he actually was so self-conscious of that he went and got hair implants. So when he was playing tennis as a pro, he had this long hair. He rubbed me the wrong way. Like, he came like arrogant a little bit and like a baby and all that kind of stuff. But when he was playing, he writes in his book that he every minute of the tennis match, he'd be worried about his hair falling off or being revealed that he has fake hair. So that was like just a major insecurity, which is a fear, right? Mm. Fear of how people, like fear of being accepted, fear of what I look like, and it's only your fear, and no one else's. So he went and did that. So then, anyways, at the end of it bothered him, like anxiety over this, and then he got divorced from Brooke Shields, who was an actress, and married his Steffi Graf, and she said, just shave your head. And she just kind of said, no, I like you for who you are, and it'll look good and whatever. Played his best tennis after that. And but fear comes out in a lot of different ways.